If I'm being honest, my second country was such a bummer for me. Not because the cuisine isn't amazing, because of my relationship to it. Talking about Syria. I'm half Palestinian. When Zionist colonialism made my family's homeland unsafe, some of my family stayed behind while the other half moved to Syria, specifically Damascus. They stayed there for a bit, and then half of that family ended up moving to Beirut, Lebanon. Because of that, my family's cuisine isn't just purely Palestinian, it's some mixture of all of these other cuisines. So I knew I needed to make some ground rules before I drew Palestine, Lebanon, or Syria. 1. I wasn't allowed to ask my family for recipes. Our versions are way too mixed up. 2. I wasn't allowed to follow my heart on any recipe. If given the chance, I will dump way more za'atar on a dish than it's called for. Call me a Palestinian stereotype. 3. I wasn't allowed to only make my personal favorites from each cuisine. I wanted to challenge myself to go after dishes I don't normally make or things I haven't ever heard of. That's the whole point of this challenge. With that aside, what exactly is Syrian cuisine? We're dealing with one of the countries that makes up the historic Fertile Crescent. Human impact on agriculture here dates back to the 11th millennium BCE. It's frequently referred to as the cradle of civilization. Like many ancient countries, you see a fair amount of interlopers and traders that permanently impacted both the cuisine and the culture of the country. During Roman rule, Syria flourished under the Silk Road. It brought in staggering wealth that allowed for citizens to invest in way more advanced irrigation techniques and brought in exotic ingredients from countries like China. The Umayyad Caliphate deeply Arabized the cuisine, culture, and language. The Ottoman Empire brought Turkish influences, while they, in turn, brought away Syrian influences back home. And then, on top of it, for 40 years, both Syria and Lebanon were colonized by the French. The push and pull of turmoil, colonialization, and trading, you can actually take most Syrian dishes and follow a map back to the 13th century, where you can kind of pick out where each culture made an impact on the dish. Frankly, many dishes I made from Syria didn't leave much of an impact to me because I was really familiar with it. But there was one dish that honestly kind of made me giggle, and then it ended up being my favorite dish. Its name is Harak Osbao, or Harak Osbao, depending on where you're from and how you pronounce it. Its name literally means he burned his fingers. It comes from a legend where a wife makes this dish, she puts it out on the counter to cool down, and her husband is so excited about it that he just dives right in with bare hands and starts eating it by the fistful. This dish is particularly popular in Damascus, and it's made up of stewed lentils mixed with pasta, topped with fried crispy onions, fried pita, pomegranates, and plenty of herbs. It actually reminds me a lot of koshari, the Egyptian dish, but it is distinctly different. I was so surprised by the layers of flavor in this dish, especially the inclusion of tamarind that is not a mainstay in Eastern Arab cuisine, so I was really excited to see it. If you're looking for an excuse to get away from the delicious yet predictable kibbeh, baklava, and hummus, give Harak Osbao a try. You might end up loving it. The dish that you see in the video, my husband and I ate half of that in one sitting. It's that good. As always, the link in my bio will lead you to my site where I have a collection of the Syrian recipes I use, as well as resources, playlists, and a whole lot more. Next time, we'll talk a little bit more about meal structures in Syria and how it does differ from the West, as well as showing off a really cool seasonal dish that I absolutely fell in love with. Until then, remember, there's a whole world waiting for you in the kitchen.